Hey everyone, this is FIDE Master Kavutskiy here for Chess.com, and today I'll be presenting the highlights from week 2 of the United States Chess League. A lot of super exciting matches, a lot of awesome games, and I picked a couple of highlights to show you guys featuring some of the most exciting action from the past week. So here we've got Michael Bodic playing white against Rico Salamba playing black. And this was the match, the New York Knights against the Manhattan Applesauce. So a battle of New York's both teams. And here Bodic came up with a really strong attacking idea. He played the move G4. And this move is incredibly strong. The point is that white has already built up a lot of attacking pressure down the F-file, and with their knight and queen and bishop all placed well to cause trouble to black's king. And when this move G4, he's not necessarily hoping to get his pawn included in the attack. Instead, Bodic is just clearing the path for his rook to get to H3 without being attacked by the bishop on C8. And with the rook on H3, white has this pretty deadly threat of bishop takes F6 and queen takes H7 mate. So this G4 move is quite strong in that it allows white to get the rook to H3 here. And here black is pretty much losing, even though they've only played a handful of moves out of the opening. Here they decided on bishop e6, because what else? They have to at least develop their pieces. And Bodic decided to simply win the pawn on f6 here. And after king g7 and g5, white's advantage is pretty much decisive here. They still have a big attack going and an extra pawn, and all their pieces are quite good here. So I'll just quickly show you guys the rest of the game. Here, what I really like about Bodic's play is that he just kind of switched gears here. Instead of going for this sacrificial checkmating attack, he just slowly improved this position. He played this move C3, which I like a lot, strengthening his center and preparing to retreat his bishop back to C2 if needed. And with an extra pawn, white doesn't have to rush here. They just have to improve their pieces. And with such a weak king, black is going to be losing any moment. Bishop d8, h4, bishop c7, bishop c2, queen b6. And here, white goes in for the kill. Knight g3, this knight's coming to h5, and the game is pretty much over. Bishop d6, knight h5 check, king h8, and g6. And here black very reasonably resigned here. The point is that white is starting g7 with mate, and there's very little black can do to stop this threat without giving up, all of their pieces. If hg, then just knight takes g6, or we can even take this rook first and then play here, and okay, the game is over. White is just winning all of black's pieces here. The next game I wanted to show you guys here is FM Steven Weiner playing white against IM Texer and Inkbot playing black. And Weiner is playing for the New England Nor'easters and Inkbot for the Baltimore Kingfishers. So this game took third place in the Game of the Week contest, and the reason is that Weiner here for New England played a very nice technical game here. As you can see, white has a very small advantage. They've got a bit more space, and their bishop is definitely superior to its counterpart. But this position is not so easy to win, especially if black tries to just hold on solidly and doesn't really blunder anything. So let's see how Weiner managed to pull out the victory. He played rook c3, g6, rook c1, b5. Black is trying to get some counterplay so that their position isn't so passive, but it's kind of misplaced because now the c6 pawn is just a target for white's pieces, and black didn't really get anything with their advance on the queen side there. So ba, bishop c2, rook b4, bishop takes a4, rook b8. And here just simple move b3. White's not rushing. They've got all the time in the world. Black has no counterplay whatsoever, and white can slowly pursue the victory here. h5, really not sure about this move. It seems kind of weakening, but it's hard to suggest something to a player with such a passive position here. They really just have to shuffle and hope white's not able to break through in the future. Queen a2, king g7, h3, rook b8, queen e4, king g8, queen e5, rook a8. Black is deciding just to stay put and wait for white to accomplish something here. g3, rook b8, king g2. What's good about playing these positions for white is that you can actually take all the time you want, and you don't have to win the game until you feel like it. So slowly improve your position, don't make any weaknesses, try to induce more weaknesses, and eventually you'll win the game. So queen b6, and here Weiner played g4, taking advantage of the fact that black's queen left its control over the king side here. And with g4, he's looking to start an attack and hopefully open up black's king and checkmate them. So h4 was played, and here king f3. I'm actually not so sure about this move. I think maybe he was teasing his opponent, threatening to do a short Timon from way back when and bring his king to h6 and checkmate. But after rook d8, he decided against it and just played queen f6. So rook d5. Weiner decides to just take this pawn, and the game didn't last much longer after this. It was sort of just mopping up. White has won another pawn, and okay, they still remain all of the same positional advantages from before. If you guys want to see the rest of this game, you're more than welcome to go to uschessleague.com and find all the games from this past week. You can also see standings and links to team blogs, team sites, and stuff like that. But this game, white was able to win without too much difficulty. Next game I wanted to show you guys is right here. Here it's Vitaly Nemer of the St. Louis Archbishops playing white against Eric Rodriguez of the Miami Sharks playing black. And white had just played this move d4, attacking in the center. As we can see, black has built up most of their forces on the king side here, hoping to attack white's king. And here Eric played a very natural, very strong attacking move. I'm sure you guys have already figured out what it is. It's rook af8, just bringing the last piece into the game and setting himself up for some kind of sacrifice against white's king side here. So Nemer played bishop takes g8, hoping to get rid of some of black's attacking forces here. King takes g8, de, just trying to get some counterplay in the center. And here came a real blow. Knight takes h3. Maybe this move isn't so surprising because black's forces are all here on the king side, but anyways, you never want to face this playing white. Actually, knight takes g2 I think was an even stronger move, just getting rid of the defense of this knight on f3. And white is definitely close to hopeless here. His king side's falling apart. Black's rooks and queen and bishops are just too strong here. But anyways, knight takes h3 was chosen in the game. This is also a pretty good move. White played knight takes f5, hoping to get rid of black's attacking material here. Knight takes f2 check, king g1. And here black can't take the queen because white takes on e7 and wins back black's queen here. So instead he played knight h3 check, and now king f1 was played. I think it would have been much more reasonable to play king h2, but anyways, it's very hard to defend when all your opponent's pieces are pointed at your king. So king f1 was played, bishop takes f5, rook e3, and here another strong attacking move, basically winning the game. Bishop g5, hitting the rook, and if the rook moves, then bishop d3 check comes, and white can resign. So after knight takes g5, Rodriguez found bishop d3 check, king e1, rook f1 check, king d2, rook takes d1, king takes d1, and knight takes g5. And with a queen and knight versus two rooks, black has a huge material advantage. Not to mention white's king is still in the center, and none of their pieces are really coordinated. So black was able to win this in just a couple of moves. The last position I wanted to show you guys is right here. This is GM Pascal Charbonneau of New York playing against GM Robert Hungaski of Manhattan. And this game actually won Game of the Week for week 2. So I'm not going to go over it here. I'm going to refer you guys over to GM Alex Yermolinsky, who will be covering this game in a featured video for Chess.com on the main site. So if you want to see what brilliant move Charbonneau played in this position, I strongly suggest you head on over to the main site because the featured video is going to be released in a few days. And Yermolinsky, who's great at doing video lectures, is going to be covering this brilliant game in some good detail. So thanks a lot for listening, guys. This has been the USCL highlights for week 2. Make sure to check out uschessleague.com for more games and standings, results, team sites, blogs, all that good stuff. Make sure to check out Chess.com every Tuesday and Wednesday nights for live coverage of the US Chess League. Every match is going to be covered every week on Chess TV. And make sure to follow me on Twitter at HelloKostya. With that, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys tune in to US Chess League highlights every week here on YouTube and on Chess.com.